Hi everybody, it's Eddie from Village Tropicals, just coming to you today on a very, very autumnal day. It's been absolutely howling through with winds ripping through the Musa Basjoo behind me, rattling the fence panels, and then it's also started raining just on cue for me to start the video. What you clicked on today is a video is how we can get free plants, and there's a gardener who doesn't want free plants, right? So whether it's from division, from seeds, from cuttings, I'm going to run through all of those things with you today so we can maximize what our garden can do next year. Appreciate it's the end of summer and definitely through to the start of autumn now, so where it can feel like a little bit of a lull in the gardening season. Autumn is a perfect time to get set up and get your plants ready for next year's display. So without further waffle, let's get at it. So just before we start today, I'm going to run through the video really quickly, just explaining for those that already know how to do divisions, root cuttings and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to rattle through the video just for those that are in the know, and then over the next couple of weeks I'm going to release individual videos on how exactly I would cut this banana pop out of the ground, how I would do the Colocasia seeds and things like that. So if it's a little bit of a quick one, I don't think it will be, but if it's a little bit of a quick one for you, just keep an eye out for the individual ones that you're interested in as well. But I just thought I'd cover both bases with that. It's my absolute favourite plant in the garden. The Musa Basjoo behind me here is absolutely, as I've named it every single time, colossal. It's absolutely beautiful as it's nearly slapping me in the face there in the wind. With massive paddle soaking wet leaves will be ideal when it hits me in a second. But if I kind of pull the camera down, you will be able to see some offsets. If you look at it just here, this thing for a baby is probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 foot, 3.5 foot, something like that. Those ones are absolutely dead easy to separate, and right now is the perfect time to be getting those done. What we would do is we would dig a hole around the actual banana, which will sever the tie between that and the mother plant. I would then chop back the vast majority of those leaves, probably leaving 1 or 2 leaves back on to help with water loss after you've kind of cut back a plant. They don't need to be supporting as many leaves and things like that. So the more you chop back, the less kind of stress that I've noticed with those particular plants. Because it has a roller coming out of the central part of the plant, when you start seeing that roller growing, you know you're kind of cooking on gas from there, and that you've done a nice little division. Another perfect example there is Euphorbia John Phillips. I had almost everybody that visited the garden this year asking if that one was for sale or if I had any of those cuttings for sale. Those are dead easy. You need gloves because they do have like a white residue inside that when you cut them can remove the UV protection and cause irritant to your skin. But if you take a couple of cuttings of those, remove a lot of the leaves that are hanging over and literally just put them straight into compost somewhere dark, like so semi-shade, those will root in no time whatsoever, and then we'll be able to divide those plants and pot them up in spring as well. Again, an unknown Euphorbia. I don't know which one this one is, but exactly the same method with this one. You would cut these back. So you would cut these back however long you want, strip those leaves, and then just put those straight into compost. And again, you've been able to get new plants. I will cut these back at the end of winter because they'll get squashed by the snow and affected by the frost a little bit. So to renew them, because they look absolutely flawless at the moment, I'll cut those back and they'll shoot again within a month or so. So another one just off my shoulder there is Canna. So as you can see the Canna there, that one is one of my personal favourites, which is Cleopatra. As you can see, there's a seed pod growing on the right hand side after the flowers have gone. You can see right in there, if I move the camera, those green sections there, they're the seed pod. The unfortunate thing with Cleopatra is they do not retain the striping, like the mutations on the colour or the flowers. They generally revert back to being green 9 times out of 10. As you can tell from my mango pink, these are all spent flowers now, and at the end I'll show you which ones are the good ones to take. The ones with the colour still on it, like the big one on the left hand side, is not ready yet. Just popped inside the greenhouse to get rid of the rain a second, but I've got a perfect example here. As you can see there, that is light brown, and you can also see inside, if I get the camera in the right area, you can see inside and I can already see, if I can get the camera in focus, that there are actually Canna seeds ready in there, ready to go. They will drop any second. I'm actually going to take those out now, but they're absolutely fresh, marble-like Canna seeds there. All you got to do is foil those so you can see the first little bit of white popping out, or nick them with some nail clippers. You can put them in water for a couple of days and they will germinate, pop them up, and you'll have absolute success with those. From one plant we've got 6 there, and that is quite a low yield. We will get a lot more on different plants as well. On to the very next plant, which is Heuchera. I've just broken one of those open. As you can see there, those things that look a bit like black pepper. They're the flower seeds on that. So if I just chuck those back in the border, what you can see if I zoom in is right on the end of those flower spikes, these, if you just pull those back, plenty in there. Some of these are a bit past, but you can feel which ones are hard, and I can feel like within there's definitely some new pods in that one. So we'll be able to break those open and get plenty of little cheeky Heuchera seeds. Colocasia are again extremely easy to take divisions from. You will be able to see from underneath where there's multiple stems, as you can see there. All you would do with those is you simply dig up a clump of it and then split them with your hands. No need for a shovel or anything like that. They will separate with a corm, which is like a bulb, and then with that they'll have a full root system on them as well. Get them potted on, get them watered, leave them somewhere just to recover until you see active growth, and then put them back gradually in sun as well. Absolute classic in anyone's tropical garden. Absolute bone hardy, will die back to the ground every single year and re-sprout. It's also fantastic with the water bouncing on the leaves because it's hydrophobic as well, so it's a brilliant one for the kids to play around with the hose pipe. But it looks fantastic, and who doesn't want more of those in the garden? Yeah, I'll do one more because I'm absolutely soaking wet. As you can see behind me, this Jack and the Beanstalk style thing is from the Formium 10-ax, which if I bring it down a little bit is the bigger grass behind me. That has absolute towering flower spikes, as you can see up there. Beautiful coloration. If I can get the tripod in there so you can have a little look, and they are absolutely full with seeds, so again they're worth collecting as well. One thing to note though is that the seed pods do seem to have like a dye in them, and they stain my fingers like yellow, so again wear gloves with those ones. Hopefully that was 7. I kind of lost track with editing and trying to run out of the rain and the wind as I was doing this, but yeah, so I'm going to do this into at least part 2. I found as I was editing, I was surprised myself actually when I was walking around the garden of actually how many things I am going to take cuttings and stuff from, and divisions and things. As I said earlier, I'm going to do individual videos, so if it was a little bit quick and you didn't understand half of the things that I was talking about, which is fine, obviously you can use Google in the meantime, but I will do individual ones on the banana and how I would do that, dig it up and things like that. Final bit of waffles I featured on Yorkshire Chris's channel, which was massive achievement for a channel as small as mine. I can't even believe he found my channel, let alone watched it and recommended it, so absolutely buzzing about that. But kind of did make me think, because a lot of the comments in there were people asking for more YouTube channels and things like that, and so it obviously made me think that everybody's got loads like I have. I've got like thousands of different people that have got plant things from all around the world. So if you've got a tropical plant channel, from my way to kind of give back, and I've only a small channel, so it's not exactly the biggest referral on earth, but put your YouTube channel in the comments, and I'll love your comment anyway, but feel free to subscribe to everybody in there. I want my YouTube absolutely full of plant stuff. I don't really want any other garbage in there, so feel free to post your YouTube channel in there. And again, thanks for watching.